Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so if I stumble over my words moving forwards, apologies about that. And also, if the quality of this video is fairly poor as well, if there's any lag, anything like that at all, sadly it cannot be helped, and hopefully it is not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision 2023 related video here on my channel, and another sort of episode in my ongoing series entitled What We Know So Far, where I go through pretty much everything we as Eurovision fans know so far about the upcoming edition of the ESC, which at the time of recording this video you're watching now is just a few months away. It will take place on the 9th, 11th and 13th of May in Liverpool in the UK on behalf of Ukraine. I have loads of information in front of me to make sure I don't forget anything too important, but chances are I will forget to mention certain things. Do feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments as always, that is greatly appreciated. And of course, you are more than welcome to leave a like and subscribe if you so wish. There are links in the description to my other social media pages. As always, check them out if you want to. The Instagram page, rajc.esc, which I co-run with a really good friend of mine, that is pretty much the best place to find out my current national final favourites, songs I think are worth keeping an eye out for moving forwards, things like that. The Instagram page is perhaps the best place to see it first. Then my Twitter page, then maybe this YouTube channel. Anyway, let's get going, because this might be a big old rambling video from me once again. I'm not going to go through loads of details that we've known for quite some time now, such as 37 countries will be participating, Bulgaria, Montenegro and North Macedonia are not involved. We now know the allocation draw will be taking place on January the 31st at 8 PM CET at St George's Hall in Liverpool, hosted by AJ Adodu and Rylan Clark. That's something that we didn't know about the last time I filmed a video like this. What we also know about the allocation draw is that we are going to get the logo, slogan and artwork of this year's competition. That's the first time we'll be able to see it, which is fantastic. AJ Adodu presents loads of stuff on TV here in the UK. I've not really seen her on anything though. Rylan has co-commentated on the semi-finals for a couple of years. He is everywhere on TV. You cannot miss those dazzling white teeth of his. He is pretty much a safe pair of hands. It's going to be good, and what's particularly interesting is that it's going to be broadcast live on British television. I'm sure this has never happened before. Very, very exciting, and it's taking place in the evening. Wonderful. Of course, I'm sure it will be streamed on the official Eurovision YouTube channel as well. We know that the voting has changed for the semi-finals a bit, so it is 100% public vote. We also know that there is going to be a rest of the world vote as well. We know the directors of this year's competition and the executive producer, bags of experience on display there. The postcards, I believe, are being filmed as I speak, and they'll continue to be filmed up until April. I imagine they will involve Ukrainian individuals, perhaps now based in Britain. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, it'll be interesting to see what the slogan is, because a couple of years ago we had building bridges. You can't have that again, but I imagine it will be something fairly similar to show the links between the UK and Ukraine all the way across from one side of Europe to the other. The fact that a lot of Ukrainians have sort of started a new life for themselves here in the UK. I imagine the slogan will tie into all of that. And I believe at the allocation draw there are going to be Ukrainian individuals helping out, as well as local school children, I think. Don't quote me on that. But I did read something about that a few days ago. Anyway, the semi-finals, 9th and 11th of May. We will know which semi-final these countries will be participating in before the end of the month. Let's go through the countries in alphabetical order as they are on my screen right now. Like I said earlier, do let me know your thoughts. I am genuinely interested to know. This is the first chance for me, really, on my channel to talk about the current situation across Europe, to talk about some of my favourite songs. So let's get going. Albania, the national final, FIC, took place last year. around Christmas time, and we know that it is Albania and Familia Kermendi with Duje. The song is staying in Albanian. I think this was the right choice, to be honest. El Salila won FIC, but because of the way the national final was organised last year, and I'm sure it might be this way moving forwards, there is a separate public vote. Hallelujah. Finally, Albania introduces a public vote. Although saying that, they did have it once a few years ago. Anyway, El Salila with Evita, great song, very powerful, very emotionally charged. That won the festival, but the runner-up won the public vote, and that was Albania. And it's a pretty good song. I feel like it takes a bit too long to really get going, and then it's really good once it gets going, and I'm glad it's staying in Albanian. Do I think this is going to be very competitive? No, I don't, but it's not too bad a song. It really isn't. In terms of other songs from Albania that I enjoyed, Too Farm finished third. I have no idea how that happened. What else did we have? Urban Band, I didn't mind. Fifi, I didn't mind. Lynx, I didn't mind. A couple of songs were knocked out before the final as well. Yeah. There is somebody else, but I can't remember that. Oh, there they are. Enshi Nasufi. That was not a bad song that she had as well. There we are, that's Albania. Moving on. Armenia, we know nothing. But of course, Armenia were one of the success stories of last year's competition, because Rosalind went on to have a bit of a worldwide hit with Snap, well after Eurovision finished. Remarkable. Could something similar happen again? Who knows? Australia are not having a national final. And if they were having a national final, it would have been over by now anyway, I'm sure. I haven't really seen too much in the way of rumours. I don't really like to look at rumours and things like that. Damiim did say a few years ago that she'd like to do it again. Jaguar Jones, who's been involved a couple of times in the Australian national selections. She's another individual whose name I have seen mentioned a few times online. I think she'd be very good. It'll be interesting to see what Australia come up with. I imagine we'll be getting news very, very soon. It's been very quiet. As for Austria, we know nothing. Azerbaijan, apparently, I don't know who said this, I think it might have been the head of the Azeri delegation, saying how there's been loads of submissions, and they are looking more for Azerbaijan-born composers and writers, which I think is very welcome, and about damn time too. Apparently we are getting the singer before the end of this month, so watch this space. As for Belgium, oh dear me. Eurosong, the first national final in Belgium for years. It finished on January the 14th after a whole bunch of shows in the days leading up to the grand final. The results, yes, it was jury and public. The jury had Gala in first place, fine. The public had the Starlings in first place, not a shock, because I think they were arguably the biggest act in this national final lineup. But neither of them won. Instead, Gustav, with Because of You, triumphed, 1 point ahead of the Starlings. It was very, very close in the end. The Starlings had 277, Gustav had 278, Gala had 271, and Shireen with Samon Wipa, my personal favourite, finished fourth with 268. So it really was very close in the end. The juries weren't so keen on the Starlings, whereas the public had them well out in front at number one. But yes, Gustav, Because of You. This is Michael Ben David 2.0. Israel last year. This song is not a million miles away. It is fairly up-tempo. He's a fairly charismatic singer. Maybe not a whole lot of movement. Visually, maybe not that strong either. He's a great vocalist. That's maybe the best thing about this track. But I can't say I'm really loving it. And when he won, all I saw on social media were people saying how thoroughly disappointed they were that he came out on top. And when you look at the other songs that were there, I can't say I'm surprised. I think Belgium have missed a trick this year. Shireen was getting so much buzz and attention from Eurovision fans. People were really, really loving her track, including myself. The live performance, though, I do have to say, all over the place. I'm not sure I really liked the way it was presented, and had she won and gone to Liverpool in May, that would have to have been changed to make it a lot more visually appealing, because at this national final, yeah, it was very messy in my opinion. And also, it could have been a little bit better vocally. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, because Gustav is flying the flag for Belgium. Do I think it's going to qualify? It's too early to say. I do think it's a bit of a disappointing result, though. I really do. Belgium had better songs. Oh, dear me. Excuse me. Croatia, 11th of February, Fedora. We know the songs, they've been released. I think it's a two-horse race, ladies and gentlemen, between Let 3, who are a big band in Croatia, they've been around a long time, and Harmonia Dissonance, which I'm sure I'm still mispronouncing ever so slightly. But they are, I think it's an all-female group, very folky, quite traditional. There's violins in that song, Nevera Lele, really nice, and arguably the only song here that could get Croatia a half-decent result. Everything else feels very wishy-washy. There's some quality. For example, Damir Kedsho is back. His song, it's very different from what he had before, but it's not too bad, Angels and Demons. Eni Jurisic, I think quite a few people like her song. Hannah Masic is also not too bad. Mirjam Drakovic, Bye Bye Blonde, that's one of my top 3 favourites. And also Patricia Gasparini might do fairly well. But on the whole, and Dana, Free Falling, that's pretty good. That's one of my favourites. But on the whole, the quality isn't exactly breathtaking. And really, like I said, it's a two-horse race between those two groups I mentioned just a moment ago. It really should be Nevera Lele, but we wait and see. Opatia is where it's taking place, and as I said a moment ago, on February the 11th. As for Cyprus, we've known for ages it's Andrew Lambrou, who did try to represent Australia last year but didn't do that well. We are getting his song next month. As for the Czech Republic, the 7th of February is when we will know the result of the Eurovision Song CZ 2023. Yes, indeed. Interestingly, the voting, 70% international audience, 30% Czech audience. That, to me, suggests that the organisers of this competition don't really have a whole lot of faith in their own audience to select the best song. Now, I'm okay with this, to be honest, because when it comes to Eurovision, you can't vote for your own country anyway, so getting an idea as to what people from outside your country are really enjoying, I think is a pretty good thing. So I really don't mind this. Anyway, the voting window opens on the 30th of January, closes on February the 6th. We'll find out the winner a day later. We know the artists involved. Mayela Pam Rabbit is back. Marketa Erglova, Oscar winner for the movie Once, and she tried to represent Iceland last year. Vesna and Rodan, they are the names involved. I've done a little bit of research. I think it's a pretty solid lineup. And some of the national final songs here may already be out there. I did read something saying how the songs in contention for the Czech Republic this year, they may already be out. They may be released over the next few days. We might not hear them in full until the live show, because this year the Czech Republic are having a televised live show, which is great. So yeah, Pam Rabbit, for example, I don't know if it's a song that was released before last September, which is of course the sort of cut-off point, or whatever you want to call it for Eurovision songs, but she's got a really good song, and if it's that one that's in this national final, that's quite exciting. But yes, it's taking place in Prague on January the 30th, so not long to go. I think they could be onto something very special. As for Denmark, February the 11th for Dansk Melodi Grand Prix. We know the songs, we know the artists. However, one of them, Riley, with Breaking My Heart, could be disqualified because what an absolute noob. He performed this song in full in South Korea last year, I believe. My God, man, don't you read the rules? What are you playing at? Anyway, he may still be involved. I don't really know what the current situation is. Having listened to the Danish songs, my favourite is Maria Leberg with Human. Is that going to win? Probably not, but it really sounds like something Denmark would go big for. We've also got Niklas Sonne with Freedom, that's a bit of a rock song. Maya Maya, or Maya Maya, she's a major contender, as are Asia, half Icelandic, half Danish. And in fact, Brynja Mary, I didn't realise this until about 2 days after the lineup was announced, but she tried to represent Iceland a few years ago. I knew that, but I didn't realise it was her, part of this female double act. I Was Gonna Marry Him, the name of their song. It's probably the one to beat. But who knows, Denmark might go completely left field. I don't think many people were expecting Ready to win last year, but they did. So there we go. Not brimming with quality, but also really not that bad, in my opinion. Next is Estonia. Well, we've only got the final of Eesti Laul to go. February the 11th for that. The two semi-finals have taken place. We know that Ollie with Venom, that's got to be the one to beat. Andreas Bedwetters, Annette and Freddie, massive dark horse. Let's not forget they have finished in the top 3 of Eesti Laul in the past. Janek, Inger, Milik, also a dark horse, but not the right choice in my opinion. Sissy, Alika, and Mels, and Elisa, and Mia are in the final. That's 12 tracks. Elisa and Mia came through the wild card selection. We know that Milik will open the final in Tallinn and Sissy will close it. The winner will once again be determined by a jury and public vote, and the top 3 will go through to a super final where it will be a sole public decision on who represents Estonia. Like I said a moment ago, Venom is the favourite, Alika as well. I think she could do exceptionally well here. Definitely top 3, I'd be surprised if not. Sissy has been gunning for that win for quite a while. She's had 2 previous entries that have done quite well. So Good at What You Do by Mels is one of my favourites, but she only came through the second round of voting in semi-final 2. So either the juries weren't that keen on her, or the public weren't so keen on her at first, which is why she had to go through the second round of voting. I don't know. It's a pretty strong lineup overall, and Venom is probably the song that's going to Liverpool. We will soon know. As for Finland, where do I even begin? Quality everywhere you look. They have such a positive, strong approach to the competition, and so many countries need to take note of this. I'm thinking of countries like Malta, for crying out loud. If Finland can do it, Malta surely can. Quality over quantity. UMK takes place on February the 25th. The songs were drip-fed to us. They're all out now, getting tons of views online. Benjamin, Karja, Keira, Kumar, Alexandra, Portion Boys, and Robin Pakalen are the names. I've listened to all of these songs. My favourite is Cha Cha Cha, which is this techno rock pop number. It reminds me of Party Hard by Andrew WK. If you haven't listened to that song, I recommend it because it's a little bit on the similar side. It is a very arresting track. The lyric videos are so good. No other country really does this. It is remarkable. It's so slick, so professional, so in it to win it, which I bang on about all the time. It's fantastic. Cha 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 is doing really, really well in terms of online views, in terms of the buzz it's getting. It's the one to beat. Portion Boys, I know they've been going for quite a while in Finland. They're quite well known. That song, it's a bit on the silly side, but it's catchy stuff, and it could be a great live performance. Something to Lose by Alexandra is a beautiful ballad, but I'm not sure it's going to stand much of a chance. Benjamin with Hoidamut, very good. It's definitely got that current sort of 80s new wave thing going on. That sound seems to be very popular at the moment. It's a very good song. No Business on the Dance Floor, great young performer. Seems to be very confident in the lyric video. If she can do that on stage live, that's fantastic. Not a big fan of the lyrics. Axel Enström, Paradise Oscar from 2011 himself, has co-written this, which is very, very interesting indeed. Then you've got Illivoimainen by Kuma, The Three Guys. That's a lovely sort of slightly indie sounding track. That's really good. And then Girls Like You by Robin. And I know, excuse me, oh dear, I know he's a huge name, but there is absolutely no way that man should be winning this show. You are voting for the best song, not the name, and he does not have the best song. It's okay, but it is nothing in comparison to the other 6 tracks in this lineup. Absolutely fantastic. Finland are surely going to get a very good result in Liverpool. As for Georgia, on the 2nd of February, we will know the representative, because they are using The Voice Georgia. How many people are left? I have no idea. Quite a few. Okay. Iru Kechanovi has done well. Tina Datikashvili has done well. Likuna Tutisani has done well. I have no idea who these people are because I've not been following it, but we will get the singer early next month and the song later down the line. Big year for Georgia, no final since 2016. As for Greece, we know the song is going to be in English, boo, and we've known for a while the artists on the shortlist. That shortlist became even shorter recently. Antonia Kawiri and Maria Maragku with Shout Out, Melissa Mantzoukis with Liar, and Victor Vernikos with What They Say. It is going to be one of those 3 acts with one of those 3 songs, and we will know which one very, very soon. I believe this week. So there you go. Iceland, Song for Keppnin, 4th of March, 2 semi-finals in the middle of next month. We are getting the artists on January the 28th. Really, really excited for that. I believe we're getting the songs at the same time, so that will be another video from me. Ireland, 3rd of February for Eurosong 2023. We know the songs, we know the running order as well. Adji, Connolly, Wild Youth, Layla Jane, K Mooney and ND, and Public Image Limited. My God. John Lydon himself, who has done nothing but criticise this competition in the past, and quite frankly, we do not need that negativity. This is not the right choice for Ireland. Hawaii, the message behind it is very nice, but my God, come on now. This is not the song that should be going to Liverpool. In my opinion, it should be Connolly with Midnight Summer Night, which has a whiff of the Cranberries to it, and Enya, and that lovely sort of very gentle, atmospheric, dreamy Irish music. Oh yeah, I love that sort of stuff. It should be Connolly, great up-and-coming young singer. Too Good For Your Love by Adji is fine, but I'm not sure that would be very good at Eurovision. I really don't. Wild Youth, they're playing it safe. It's a pretty generic pop song. Wouldn't be surprised if it won because I think they're quite popular over there. K Mooney and ND, not really my cup of tea. Layla Jane, that song's fine. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. It's a big year for Ireland as well. Probably should have made the final with Brooke in Turin, but alas, Connolly all the way for me, which almost certainly means she won't win. As for Israel, it's Noah Kirel, huge star. The song is called Unicorn. It's co-written by Doron Medali, who's written quite a few Israeli tracks over the years, including Toy. And we are going to get the song in March, and I think a lot of people are very, very excited for this. She is a really successful musician, millions of views online, could be a real contender. As for Latvia, Supernova is on February the 11th. We know the singers and the songs. Marcus Riva is back, but he has no chance. Justs from 2016 is back, also no chance. My favourite is... who is it? It's Adriana with Like I Wanna. Nothing particularly groundbreaking, but it's fairly cheerful stuff. Inspo with Sway, which is a bit of a rock song. That could be very good. Louisa with You to Hold Me is arguably the strongest song here. And also Fake Love by Raum, who's been involved before. That's a pretty good, slightly punkish rock song. I'm not expecting it to win, but that's another one of the strongest songs here. And it's co-written by Daniel Levi, who was the runner-up in Eesti Laul a few years ago. Very interesting. As for Lithuania, 18th of February for their national final, although it has already started. There are 2 heats followed by 2 semi-finals. The first 15 songs were performed by their respective artists 2 days ago. At the time of recording this video you're watching now, Ruta Mur came out on top with So Low, winning the jury vote and the public vote. Yes, indeed. 24 points in total. Quite comfortably ahead of Gabrielius Vagelis, who's back in second place he was, and Alan Chico was third. 10 songs went through in all. I've listened to these songs. Paulina, pretty good. Alan Chico, pretty good. Gabrielius, pretty good. As for the song that came out on top, which I can see being the Lithuanian track in Liverpool, it's fine, but I really feel it's not the best choice. Aiste, who has tried so many times in the past to represent her country, hasn't even made the cut. In the next heat on January the 28th, Monica from 2015 is back. Moonbee with Rumour, really looking forward to that one. Petunia with Love of My Life. People are saying that could be a top 10 hit at Eurovision this year. That song is out, I believe, and I do recall listening to some of it not so long ago. Not bad. Gebrasi is back. Gebrasi with Saw Your Ghost. You've also got Beatrix with Like a Movie. And coming into this, she was a real name to keep an eye out for, because I believe she's big business in Lithuania. Her song, from what I remember, it's a bit on the rock side. Yeah, it reminded me of Olivia Rodrigo, I think. It's been a while. I've not seen too many people really go big for it, but I'm still expecting her to do quite well. That's Lithuania. As for Malta, oh dearie me. Well, their national finals on February the 11th. What? Aiden's been disqualified? What's this about? Whoa, 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 whoa. When did this happen? Has that literally... I'm going to have to check that out, ladies and gentlemen. It says here that Aiden with Regina has been disqualified, which means... Yeah, it says here, the publication of social media posts, promotion material, interviews or any media presence from the announcement of the quarter-finalists onwards. What a load of absolute shite! What? Well, that is the end of Malta. If it wasn't already, that is the end of Malta in this year's Eurovision Song Contest. Brooke or Maxine Patch have the other best songs, in my opinion. These quarterfinals are awkward as all hell. There's no staging, there's no visuals. It's really, really disappointing. What a downgrade from Malta after having people like Michaela and Destiny. This is such a crushing disappointment. The quality on offer is not very strong. Quarterfinal 3 is on January the 27th, and like I said earlier, the finals on February the 11th. What shite from Malta that is. As for Moldova, the songs are out. The national final is at some point next month. Sunstroke Project are back, they're the ones to beat. You've also got Aliona Moon from 2013, Pasha Parfeni, he's my favourite. Soarele Shiluna is his song, pretty catchy, feels pretty good overall. Could do well at Eurovision, I suppose, with good live vocals and decent staging. He is another major contender as well. Temperatura by Lola, that might do quite well. Everything else, much of a muchness, to be honest with you. There's a couple of jaunty folk songs, there's some low-key pop, and then there's some songs that, to be honest, you forget as soon as you've listened to them. Moving on, Netherlands. Mia Nicolai and Dion Cooper Duncan Lawrence has co-written their song, which we will be getting at some point very soon. We've known for ages that it was going to be those two. Now it's just a waiting game. As for Norway, MGP is underway. February the 4th for the final. We've had 2 semi-finals. Alessandra, really good, with Queen of Kings. Umami Tsunami, not my pick. And Ulrika Brandstorp, yes, the one to beat, through from semi-final 1. From semi-final 2, Yona, people are raving about him. Not entirely sure why. Swing It, and Elsie Bay, good, they are through. People are disappointed that Ella with Waste didn't make the cut. I've seen the performance. It was oozing sex appeal, and that was about it. Good song, okay staging, probably should have gone through, certainly ahead of Prohibition by Swing It, but what is done is done. Semi-final 3, the songs are out. We have Freya by Maria Selin. People are going nuts for that one, and it is very good. Stig van Eyck, the 1999 representative, is back. We've also got Skrillex and Akuvi, who has been involved before. The final is in Trondheim, and it is not long to go until that takes place. Is it now? Moving on, Poland. They've got a national final, February the 26th. We haven't really heard too much from Poland, but I imagine we'll be getting the songs very soon. February the 15th. There you go. There you go. In the final, the top 3 entries will qualify for the second round based on 50-50 combination of votes from a 5-member jury and public vote. In the second round, the public and jury vote will select the winner. It also says here, in the event of a tie, the entry that received the highest score from the jury will come out on top, not the public. Interesting. As for Portugal, the songs are out for Festival de Canção. The finals on March the 11th. Claudia Pascoal is back with Nasci Maria, Nasci Maria, Nasci Maria, da ba ba da. Oh, really good. She is a major contender here. Barbara Tinoco with Good Night. That's a lovely little track. Ines Apenas with Fim do Mundo. Really like that. Mimi Cat with Ai Coração. That might do really well. O Impossível by The Happy Mess. I think that's a dark horse. I'm really enjoying that one. On the whole, the quality's not too bad. Edmundo Inácio with A Festa. That's a pretty decent track as well. Yeah, not too bad. The voting will be similar to how it's been for many years now. 2 semi-finals, it all gets going on February the 25th. The final on March the 11th. Romania, we've known the songs for ages. Selecția Națională is on February the 11th. We know that Deona will open the show, and the Andrea D Folklore Orchestra will close it. The favourite, I think, is my favourite, Blah 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 by Aladeda. The studio cut is very solid. What else have we got here? Statues by Andre Dutu, co-written by Shetel Merland. That could do very well as well. But on the whole, I'm not bowled over by anything, to be completely honest with you. Then we have San Marino. I think that's already started. I haven't got a clue what's going on there. It's so long-winded and convoluted. What we know is that on February the 25th, we're getting the singer and the song. For Serbia, 4th of March, for Pesma za Eurovision. 2 semi-finals in the days before that. We know the lineup. Angelina is back. Gift are back. Hurricane with their new lineup are back with Zumi Zimi Zami. Ivona is back. Tiana Dapčević, North Macedonia 2014, is back. Yes, some interesting names. Those songs will be released in due course. As for Slovenia, Joker Out were internally selected. They are a band from Ljubljana. They've been going since 2016. All-male group, indie rock. The stuff I've listened to from them is very much in the mould of the Arctic Monkeys, to be honest with you. We're getting the song on February the 4th, and it's in the Slovenian language. Wahey! And there's a lot riding on this, because Slovenia haven't made a final for a few years, and to scrap a national final and internally select a band, that's a lot of faith put in this group, so they have to deliver. As for Sweden, Melfest starts on February the 4th and finishes on March the 11th. We know the hosts, we know the cities, we know the artists, we know the song titles and the songwriters, but the songs will be released as always, excuse me, in part a few days before each live show, and then they'll be released in full as and when. Tuna Sekelius opens Heat 1. You've got Victor Krona, Jon Henrik Fjällgren, Ava and Juva are back. Victoria is back. Teots is back. Panietos, Nordman, yes. Paul Ray, Marcus and Martinez are there. Don't rule them out. They are very, very popular. Mariette, Axel Schillström, and of course Lorraine, who of course is closing Heat 4 in Malmö with her song Tattoo. People will go nuts for it, even if it's not that great a song. Let's not forget, the last time she was in Melfest, she didn't even make the final with Statements. Yeah, I'm expecting Tattoo to be a very, very competitive track. But I hope it's not overhyped. Even if it's a good song, I hope people just don't go overboard with it, because there'll be plenty of other great songs as well. And it's a bit of a shame when one person is hogging the limelight, if you see what I mean. Switzerland, we know nothing. As for the automatic finalists, it's La Zara for France. Fatima Zahra Hafti, born in August 1997 in Montreal in Canada. Yes, indeed. She's released one album, which didn't do that well. A couple of singles, none of which have done incredibly well. She seems like a pretty good singer, though, and we may be getting her song this month. Germany, their national final, Unser Lied for Liverpool, I believe it's called, is on the 3rd of March. TikTok is involved. I don't know what's happening, really. As for Italy, Sanremo starts very soon. The final's on February the 11th, I believe. On the final night, it's going to be between 5, not a final top 3. You've got Anna Oxa, Colapesce Di Martino, Elodie, Georgia, huge name, Levante, Madame, Marco Mengoni, 2013 man himself, is back. Will he have another snazzy suit? Moda involved, big band. Paola e Chiara, Tananai, Ultimo. It's a big lineup once again. On paper, it's going to be one of those names that I've just mentioned that probably wins. We know the songwriters as well. Damiano from Maneskin has written Due Mila Minuti for Mara Sate. Yes, indeed. That is definitely one to keep an eye out for because of the songwriter involved. Yeah, lovely stuff. Let's move on. Benidorm Fest starts very soon. The final's on February the 4th. It begins on January the 31st, the same evening as the Allocation Draw. We know the hosts, we know the songs. What the hell is this? Their scores in the selection procedure. Flamenco came out on top. Are you having a laugh? Anyway, Alice Wonder, that's a really lovely track. Megara with Arcadia, that's my favourite. Big rock song, love it, love it, love it. Mi Familia by Fusa Nocta, lots of people really enjoy that one. Noche Entera is doing extremely well on Spotify and things like that. It's a good song, it's my friend's favourite. Agone with Quiero Arder, that is also a contender, I'm sure. It all gets going very, very soon. Nothing as impressive as Chanel, but then again, we haven't had the live performances yet. Ukraine, disappointing, gotta be honest. Vidbir took place just before Christmas. Tvorchi came out on top with Heart of Steel, which did surprise me a bit, because Krutz and Jerry Heil, who finished 2nd and 3rd respectively, better songs in my opinion, much more interesting. Heart of Steel feels like dated R&B, but I'm sure it will do well at Eurovision anyway. And as for the UK, we know nothing, but I have a feeling that by this time next month, the song will be out, and obviously we will all have an opinion on it. I think it will be a solo female act. I'm calling it now, that's what I think it will be. And possibly a ballad. Anyway, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm wrapping this video up now. I'm sure there's plenty of other things I forgot to mention. I may well do a live video, or a sort of reaction video to the Allocation Draw, because I've never done it before, and like I said earlier, it's on TV, prime time, BBC, unbelievable. So I may well do a sort of 20-minute, half an hour long video reacting to it at the end of this month. I don't know. If you're interested in that, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on anything ESC 2023 related. Apologies for my bunged up nose and wiping my nose so much. I'm still not 100%. But I will be back with more Eurovision related content very soon. A video I've had planned for ages talking about acts I'd like to see represent the UK. I'll be honest, I'm not sure that's going to surface. I haven't got around to filming it, and it took so long to plan it anyway. It's still not fully planned, so I might just leave that one. I am hopefully going to be filming a video about Finland soon, and just talking about how their approach is very good and what other countries should perhaps be emulating moving forwards. And I'll be talking about the Icelandic songs when they're released, looking forward to that. And there'll be more What We Know So Far videos, as and when too. That is it. Hopefully the quality wasn't too bad. Apologies for rambling. Let me know what you think. Links in the description to my other social media pages. And until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye for now.